Swagger tells the story of a young basketball player going through the travails of life as he is one of the top hoopers in the DMV, but also in the country. Airs on Apple TV Plus, created by NBA All-Star Kevin Durant and also Reggie Rock Bythewood. It's in its second season. Here is the trailer for this year.
Basketball. Since I was a kid, I fell in love with this game. And when I'm gliding through the air, it's like pressing mute on everything else. Jace Carson has arrived. New season, new level.
Get your butt to school.
Layla.
Given all of your options, you have to decide. Do you want to be good at the next level, or do you want to be great?
Distractions are often demanded. Don't defend me, I'm a bandit.
At Cedar Cove Prep, I expect you to be acutely mindful and acutely prepared. Not just on the hardwood, Mr. Carson. Understood?
Understood.
Jace has got too much riding on his senior year. We need to know he's with someone who will watch his back.
You did say if I ever needed anything.
Swagger prep on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Something horrible stopped because my best friend stepped up and did something about it.
Unfortunately, I don't think it'll be likely that things will work out for him.
All the work you've done, you were so close, and you put it all at risk.
I had to.
You could go to jail.
Jace, who else was with you that night?
Let's go, let's go.
He attacked a man with the help of 3 others.
Everyone is watching. Now is the time to stand with the kids.
Our school's reputation is at stake.
I feel like I'm drowning. Don't let other people's opinion become my reality.
Come on.
The world ain't ready for what's about to happen. Not even close.
Look in my eyes, I feel like a god. I'm on the rise.
All right, folks, let's introduce nearly the entire cast. To my right, far right here, Tristan McWiles. He plays, he's on the show, star as Alonzo Powers. We have, of course, Chanel Azor. She plays the mother of the star hooper, and she she calls herself a hustler, but we gave her a new name last night. And she plays Jenna Carson. To my left is my man Reggie Rock Bythewood. He is a co-creator, writer extraordinaire. Y'all know that man over there. Ain't got no sense whatsoever. Orlando Jones. He plays Dr. Emery Lawson on the show. The superstar of the show, he's sitting right over there. He plays, of course, Jace, brother who goes through a whole lot. We got Isaiah. How you doing? Y'all good?
How you doing?
All right, gotcha. And of course, ain't seen her in years since she was in Annie. Y'all know Quavishane Wallace. She plays a top hooper, Crystal, on the show as well. Glad to have all of y'all here. Y'all had a busy press day, so glad y'all decided to stop by the Black Star Network, where we keep it real black. As you can see, all the blackness in here. Yeah. That's right. This ain't no regular TV show here. Reggie, I want to start with you. First off, how did this come to fruition?
So probably around 2018, Kevin Durant met with Brian Grazer at Imagine Entertainment. They talked about this idea of having a series loosely inspired by Kevin's, sort of AAU teams, grassroots basketball. They met with me. I went out to Oakland. He was at the Warriors at the time. I met with KD. And after the end of the meeting, I decided I was going to go ahead and write and create this show because I really felt I saw like a real great palette and canvas for a great series that was about basketball, but really about just youth growing up in America.
What's the better basketball audio visual in the crib? Your wife's loving basketball or Swagger?
I mean, loving basketball is a classic, so we don't even touch that. Look, I've been very fortunate to have really, helped G get that off the ground, and that was like one of our first babies, and so She did an amazing job with that, and that's her space. And Swagger's in this space. It's a different thing that we're going for. I mean, obviously, basketball is a backdrop, but it's a different story. It's a different era.
Isaiah, you're not an actor. How did you show up here?
Dude, I should be asking just like you. I mean, wow, it's been 4 years now that we've been at this. I met these people when I was 16, and they've brought me in with open arms. I remember going to concerts, and watching Mac with my family. Chanel, she's just been so motherly to me, and just everybody here has just treated me like family since I came in the door. So it's like, now we're here on season 2, and we still got something to say.
Chanel, last night at the premiere, which we streamed, you said you play a hustler. I'm like, no. You're an aggressive entrepreneur. And so, because you don't play the mom who's sort of clueless and being led around. I mean, you're like, no, I'm the CEO of J-Sync.
Yeah. That's what I like about Jenna's character. You get to see Black women. They can be everything in the community. And Jenna is the aggressive entrepreneur. She's also selling her Holly Ann products. That's like Mary Kay. That's her side hustle. She also has a job. She works for the gas company. So there's some truths that he's showing from our neighborhoods.
We were talking, and so you said that you have a brother who plays pro basketball, but that really wasn't your thing. And so you had to compete for this role against some actual hoopers.
Yes, I did, which was interesting to say the least. But I didn't let that stop me. I mean, I went in like I was Crystal, and I came out feeling like Crystal, and here I am, Crystal. I mean, what can I say?
Reggie, did you want a hooper, or did you say, look, you're gonna have to do this?
Yeah, I mean, it was really, in the casting process, we auditioned actors and saw what they could do in the court. We auditioned ballers to see if they could act, and Quavinjane fell into the category of actor, and it was like really a big question mark because her audition, there was like some serious ballers out there, but the name of the show is Swagger. And she walked in with the most swagger. She just sort of took the role. Her hooping was really good. It was promising. She went down in her audition.
It was promising.
Yeah, no, but that's the thing, right? Because
why she slide down the chair like, okay,
don't do that. Don't do that.
But what we did, we had a basketball camp. But I just want to tell you this one thing. So in the audition, she gets down on the floor, busts out these push-ups where the ball is in one hand. She slides it over to this hand. She slides it over to that hand, and nobody else was doing that.
Nobody.
So just that grit, that determination, and we gave her like 3 months of basketball training, and she came out legit.
Orlando, you happy you didn't have to hoop with these young boys?
I did.
Oh yeah,
I did. I played with them. I played with them the whole time. Actually.
The whole time.
Yeah,
really.
I did. We did 2-a-days. We did everything together.
Yes.
How did you fare?
Hey, listen, I'll let Isaiah them speak for me. I in my day, I could certainly play. So it was just fun to be on the court, fun to play with them and hang out. But
so you're talking about 2 months ago? Exactly. What?
They just had me run up and down the court with them a couple of months ago. So
right. But don't get it wrong. I mean, Orlando was a hooper. Like I remember 20 years ago seeing him ball, and so when his role came up, I knew I wanted Orlando for his chops.
Seeing him ball, what? Were you ever doing Biker Boys?
It was actually like before that, right?
Before that. It was before that.
Yeah. Okay. We met, actually, Orlando and I met in the writer's room on A Different World. And that's where we met Gina, that's where I met Orlando, but Orlando was balling. And so I always remembered that, and so there might be a little surprise.
Could be.
Orlando might end up with a basketball in his hand in season 2. We'll see.
Okay.
It's possible. It's possible.
Got it. Mac, how did you get involved in this?
Honestly, Reggie. Reggie called me when he was doing the casting for this and told me about this character that he's like, listen, I have this character. Everybody's not going to necessarily like him, but he has this like 5-page monologue that I need somebody to land. He's like, I keep on telling everybody about it. Everybody's like, who can do this? And I'm like, trust me, I got the kid. I got the guy. And he was like, I just let me know how you feel, and sent me this journal entry about the character. And literally the rest was history.
One of the things I think is really interesting in terms of how you integrate one's social media into this, the vibrancy of colors as well, but you're not just dealing with basketball and academics. I mean, you're really dealing with all the other things that a young brother in a single household has to deal with here in the DMV. So talk about putting all of those elements together to make for a nuanced and rich storyline.
Yeah, well, I just really call it, having a view from every seat in the house. So we wanted the perspective of the basketball players, the coaches, the educators, the moms, the dads, those that are really doing everything they can to help an individual, reach their goals, and those that are just in the way, So that's really a part of it. And look, we really take pride in the basketball in the show. We really take a lot of pride in the way we shoot it with our camera operator on rollerblades.
Yeah, I don't think there's a basketball show that's better than ours when it comes to our cinematography and our actual basketball. Yeah. I'll put money on our team.
Right. Yeah. And as important as the basketball is, really at the end of the day, it's really like about holding a mirror up to society, reflecting on what's going on in the world, and maybe even suggesting where we need to go.
So we talked about obviously how it's all set up. I want to talk about improvising. How much room does Reggie give y'all to create, to flow? You got something that's written, but the ability to be able, if you see something, and the ability just to be able to say, let me run with this in a different way.
You want me to leave the room?
No, you stay right
No, I think that's one of the beauties of working with Reggie. And it's not. Sometimes it's not us. Sometimes he sees things literally on the fly that, oh no, we need to fix this. Yo, throw this in there. Reggie's king of that. Yo, throw this in there. Yeah, say this line, or whisper something in your ear just to kind of see how the other person reacts to how that works. But he gives you space as an artist to kind of just to paint on his canvas.
Because not everybody wants you to paint. It's like, no, read them damn lines that's written. Trace.
Right. No, he always gives us room to work. I mean, for me, especially on the basketball court, I get to do a lot of, my thing and kind of give head nods to, iconic moments in the NBA and iconic moments throughout the culture. So it's really fun to work with.
Look, I don't feel like you need to change the words. Does he give you space? Absolutely. I mean, I feel this character is as much Reggie's as it is mine, but writing-wise, I feel like I often like stick to the words because they're beautifully crafted. Reggie's my favorite writer. I'm not shy about that. So I feel like it's I want to do what he kind of lays out.
It's called job protection. Way to go, Orlando. Way to go right there. That's a good one. That's a good one. Your thoughts?
You're going to get the same thing. Yes. It's very well thought out. The room that he puts together before we're even brought into the room, he has people and they're taking from all of their stories and they're putting it together. I even talked to, I'm sure he had talked to people before he wrote the words, So it's very well thought out. And when it comes to us, it's like, oh, I know this person in my community. I want to show it.
Also, he kind of writes for us. He listens to the way we talk.
Yes.
And he writes things that just flow with the way, we already have our dialect.
So we say listen to how we talk, meaning overhearing the conversations off camera and it's essentially writing in your voice.
I mean, that, and we've had long discussions before shooting just about where we're at in our lives. This is a real director. He likes to really touch base with us. I think that's the most fun thing about working with him. What you got?
I mean, everybody done took everything that I could possibly say. I feel like we done went around the table.
Well, can I give you some insight into the
go ahead.
Really, at the end of the day, it's not about the words. It's about the subtext. It's about what's underneath it. So a lot of times with ad-libbing, like it's appropriate, but a lot of times ad-libbing, you will go and say what it is your character is feeling. And on our show, we really lean into the silence. The power of silence is what we talk about. So really the biggest space that we play in is not even the words. It's just the meaning beneath the words. And that's really where we find our gold.
Also facial expressions, also things like, it's interesting watching it, holding a lot of those shots for a long time. I think about when Steve McQueen did 12 Years a Slave, how he used silence. For like long, like you're watching and you're going, okay, they're going to like cut now. When he took it 15, 18, 20 seconds versus 4 or 5.
Yeah. So, I mean, the power of silence is very, very important. And just, you know, and also I have like a great writing staff, you know, so it's not me banging out the scripts, you know, but just...
How many different writers on the team?
What was it, like 8? Let's see. Got the producer offset, so just help me out, but it's me, it's Steve, it's Joy, it's Raquel, it's Rebecca, it's JM, it's George Dorman, and Autumn. 8 of us, right?
Cool.
Yeah, 8 of us.
Questions from my parents. I'll start with Niambe. You're first.
Okay, well, thank you. And I appreciate you all being here. What I was curious about is how you all decided on the location for filming, because that's as much a part of the show as all the other scenes. So how did you decide on location?
Okay, I'm gonna just sort of give you like the real answer, which is...
No, give us a fake one. Give us a fake one.
Well, there's a soundbite version, but here's the reality.
This is my show. We won't do soundbite.
Okay,
you can just talk.
So I was looking at various...
Ain't no producer in my ear.
Okay.
I own this shit. Don't worry about it. Go ahead.
You can say shit on your show too?
I can say shit on my show because I own this shit.
So I was looking at various locations.
Aggressive entrepreneur.
I was in this particular place in Richmond, which is where we did the bulk of our shooting. You know, we did some in Maryland, but I was going down this particular street, and I looked back and I said, "Hey, can we turn down this street instead?" I don't know why, Roland, but said, "Let's turn down this street." We turned down the street. There's a community center. I said, "Can we go into the community center?" We go into the community center, and I see this gym that has blue, yellow, and red. Now, the deal is, prior to me going there, I Googled paintings on Emmett Till. Emmett Till, the most famous 14-year-old in American history. Our characters were 14 years old when we started. And the colors of this painting by Lisa Whittington had prominent colors of blue, yellow, and red. And I started to call it Emmett Blue, Emmett Yellow, Emmett Red. So I go into this gym, it has those colors, and I just felt like it was like a spiritual connection, and it was a lock, and that's what we ended up shooting there.
Cool. And again, just so you know how we multitask, you were talking about, Lisa showed me that piece of artwork last night, and it was quite provocative. Go to my iPad. There it is right there.
That's it, right? Yeah. And so when I saw this, right, so here's the deal. Like if you look at the left side of the painting, there's the Emmett Blue, there's the Emmett Yellow, right? And that's the hope and optimism and everything that we really aspire to have happen with our kids. And the other side, you know, the eyes gouged out and represents all the pain. And so like even in the red that's in that stuff, that's like in that gym, red was out of bounds. And this is the way we sort of work and operate, and I work with my DP. So we really very specifically looked at this painting, and that became my color palette for the series.
All right, cool. Larry.
Yeah, great show. I'm a longtime basketball fan. I want to talk about some of the lessons that the show teaches, right? There are a lot of, recently, some NBA older ballers who've been in the news for making bad decisions. What are some of the lessons some, young prodigies, young brothers and sisters who are coming through the pipeline, what are some of the lessons they can learn from watching your show to kind of consider, particularly when it comes to who's family, who's not family?
Wow. Look, I think navigating what it must have meant to be as young as Kevin Durant was, moving from high school to pros, that's a young man becoming a man. The pitfalls that you can run into in those situations are many. So I think what you get from this show is how difficult those things are, and how a community of individuals is what helps you navigate that.
That's the word, right? Like community.
It is a community.
Like that's what we are imparting
Exactly.
in our show and to our audience, is the strength and power of community.
Tanya.
Yeah, so congratulations on a successful first season. What are you looking forward to doing differently in the second season? Are you going to take any risks? Are there things that you're going to do differently having a successful season under your belt in this upcoming one?
Who wants to take that?
I think first and foremost, it's not about changing the recipe, especially if people like it. Consistency is key. But I do think that we take it up a notch. You know, I think we take it up a notch.
Grab the microphone.
Oh. Sorry. I do think that we take it up a notch this year. I do think that we, it's not, we take it up a notch in basketball. The way that these boys are playing basketball they're playing on a whole nother level. You know, it's ridiculous watching them. The acting is superb. You get a chance to see these guys performing at such a level that you forget who was just a basketball player and who was an actor. You know, everybody's kind of bringing their A game. But I also think that, you know, the stakes are a little higher for everyone involved. You know, you have all of these people who are now in such high places in their life that a fall can be detrimental to their entire life. So, yeah, everything, it just feels like the stakes are just raised a lot higher.
Cool. Now, again, I was improviser. So Ben Watson played 15 years in the NFL. He's next on the show. Come on, Ben, come over here. See, you know, I ain't got. Look, I don't follow no rules because I told you I ain't got to ask nobody. That's precisely. All right, so come on, just stand right next to Mac. Mac, hand that microphone right there. All right, Reggie. If you got a cat play 15 years in pro ball. 16. All right. I forgot the final season.
It all counts.
I got
401k.
I got
and with 7 kids, all 16 count. All 16 count.
What would you want to ask a former guy who played the highest level that could possibly work within the integration of this show and the character?
What's the level of commitment?
Brandon, get me in a chair, please. Go ahead.
What's the level of commitment it takes to be good versus excellent versus elite?
That's good. Good, excellent, elite. So part of that is your genetics. I'll just throw that out there. Thank you, sir. So when it comes to being good, excellent, and elite in sports, some of that is what your mom and daddy put in you. But within that, there are levels. Like I play with a guy, you may have heard of him, named Tom Brady. Now, Tom, people think he's not athletic. He
slide
is.
that chair over here.
He's
so I get
tall.
a shot of you. Go ahead.
He's tall, but what he did was he would be the, they say the first one in, last one out type of thing. It wasn't just that. He was able to relate in a way to his teammates in a team game to where he is 40-something years old and 22-year-olds feel like he's their best friend. That's beyond sports. That's beyond breaking down film and beyond understanding all the nuances of the game. That's relational. And when you're talking about a team sport and lifting all boats and lifting everybody else around you so that help you be great, a lot of it is about being relational. That's what I think people forget about, especially at the quarterback position. And so, I mean, finding whatever is your niche. I had a coach who always talked about doing your job, doing it well, but finding your niche, what you do well, and then working on your weaknesses, but make sure your strength is always your strength.
Isaiah, you're a hooper and an actor. He played the highest level. What you got?
I didn't play no basketball, though. I was terrible at basketball. I fouled out all the time.
Like
they had a character who fouled out all the time in season 1, but he got better in season 2.
That would have been me.
That's Royale. I'm trying to think of the question, but to kind of second what you said about being a great teammate, that's something that kind of like goes unsung. Through everybody's worried about the points and putting on for the team, but it's those guys who really see the other players on the team that make those players want to play with you. That goes all the way up and down, the highest levels.
And I think you gotta have a short memory.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You gotta have a short memory.
It's funny, I just heard about that. Well, just heard somebody say that. Sorry. No, I'm just saying, I just heard somebody literally say that exact. That's that exact idea. You gotta have a really short memory. Why?
Yeah, what I mean by that is nobody's going to be perfect. No matter what profession you're in, unless you rolling, you ain't never going to be perfect. So you are going to make mistakes. You're going to throw a bad pass. You're going to miss a shot. You're going to miss a rebound. You're going to turn the ball over, those sorts of things. Who is mentally tough enough to do those things and not allow it to impact their play? Those are the guys you see us in. There are a lot of folks who have a lot of talent, a lot of folks who work hard, put in the work, but mentally they're unable to get over the obstacle or the hurdle of failure. And so they either draw back and they don't extend themselves because they're scared of failing, or when they do fail, it impacts them so much that they're rendered useless with whatever else could have been in their future.
I think that's like the hardest thing as a parent, and we see parents do it. I try not to do it, Roland, but it's like, when you have children that are athletes, and I have one who's a D1 athlete, plays baseball. It's allowing them the opportunity to fail and to come back, because often when your kid fails, that hurts, and then you pass that on to your kid, and then they get the wrong message, so much of that, and we see it in the show, but so much of like the coaches, the parents, like not wanting that kid to ever fail.
But I don't think that's just sports. I mean, I raised 6 of my nieces, and then there were a lot of times when they would do stuff, and I purposely would not intervene, and they would look at me, and I'm like, "No, I'm not gonna help you." And they'd be like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "I'm not gonna help you." Because for me, and I apply the same thing even to what we do with the show. The greatest thing for me, anybody who works for me, is I need to see you think. I need to see you think your way out of this problem.
Right.
I know how I can come up with a solution that quickly, but I need to see you think your way out of the problem, because if you can think your way out of the problem while I'm standing here, you'll be able to do this when I'm not here. And I think that's part of the thing. And so, again, as I look at, and this is in terms of how I even look at many shows and even movies, there are so many multiple lessons that can be applied. So it's not solely about just what happens in sports, but you can take the exact same thing and literally apply what he's talking about to acting, apply it to media, apply it to being a publicist, apply it to being a business manager, all of those different things. Go ahead, Ozzy.
That being said, I got a question for you. How far did nutrition go in your high school to pro timeline?
Your body changes, my friend. So, it was always funny. I remember playing, and I see these guys come in, receivers, dudes that could run fast, could run all day, and they come walking in with McDonald's, Wendy's, and everything, right? But they always, but then you would see the guys that were like 10, 12 years in. Boy, they eating, the baked chicken, the vegetables, leafy greens. Their plate looks like, all the colors of the rainbow are all represented on their plate. And so you learn those things over time. One thing somebody told me when I first came into the league is that, don't let football use football. In essence, they were saying, use this opportunity, use this gift, and also if you take care of your body will take care of you. I think that applies to a lot of different things. But if you take care of your body as your machine, which it is, especially in athletics, and what you put in and how you fuel yourself, it'll take care of you.
It's another thing that a lot of people are talking about now they didn't talk about before. So we have the nutrition. The other component, sleep.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Like
Cash is talking
Actually, hold on one second. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear my phone?
Who's that?
Spud, can you hear my phone? Can you hear me?
Is that who I think it is?
Pull it up. Can y'all, Can y'all getting audio?
Don't do that to me right now, right here. I'm gonna start.
Spud.
We had me on the radio. I'm cut your ass out.
No, Spud, I got your punk ass on my TV show, so stop blowing cigars, damn smoke.
We talking about nutrition.
So we talk about nutrition. So Spud, I'm on the show. I'm talking with the cast of Swagger. Ben Watson just brought up the importance of nutrition. I want you to tell the story of when Moses Malone made you come to breakfast and taught you about nutrition.
No, yeah, I probably would. Now Moses get up early and eat. I don't get up early because I probably be just getting in. I'm single. So he called me to come over to his house to have breakfast, and he got all this fruit and all this stuff. And, yeah, by the time I got there, he had already ate because he get up way earlier than me. But he used to eat real healthy. I didn't.
So you wanted some pancakes, grits, bacon, eggs, and you said he had this huge platter of fruit in front of you, and he taught you as a rookie how to eat to survive in the NBA.
Yeah, first I had to bring him a newspaper, though, because I was a rookie.
Spud, Isaiah Hill is the star of the show Swagger, and he was a little shocked by me sitting here calling you. So let me just pass him the phone. I told you we do whatever we want on this show. So there you go. Ask him whatever question you want to ask him.
Salute, legend. How you
What's
doing?
up?
Okay.
Good.
So, what do you have to say, to the youngins that are kind of coming up and, trying to follow in your footsteps, I say. I work with a lot of...
Not the cigar smoking part, the basketball part.
I work with a lot of pit bulls that just, can just tear it up on the floor, and, you're probably the pioneer, one of the lead pioneers in that. So, what do you say to those kids that are coming up now? Because, we have one of those on our show, Musa, that he's not stopping now. He's trying to dunk. He's trying to take it to the next level. So,
What's your advice, Bud?
Bro, you got to work on your game, man. Most of the guys, you got to get in the gym so you can work on your game. Most people try to find some weakness you have. Like, when I first came in, they said I couldn't go left, I couldn't shoot threes and stuff like that. So I just stayed in the gym, working on my game where I could try to. Because Doc Rivers would tell me, like, man, if you want to stay in the NBA, you got to get a jump shot. You just can't drive past everybody. So every year, every opportunity I got, I try to work on my game to get better. And that's why the last, 10 years of my career I started, because I got better at shooting free throws, got better at defense. You get over pick and rolls back then, but you have to get in the gym and work on your game. Shoot a lot. Nowadays, I work with the G League team. You can't shoot most of the time. You're not going to get picked up if you can't shoot.
All right, well, look, go work on your golf game with your new hip.
Hey, I got a 19-year-old hip now, boy. It's good.
Well, I'm going to look forward to taking some of your cigar money to the golf course. All right.
All right, boy.
All right, baby. I'll at you.
All right, love you, brother.
All right, love you too. See, we do whatever. We do whatever. All right, final thoughts. I'll go around. I'll start with you. This season, not giving anything away, but what should folk expect to feel season 2?
Our community can feel like they are seen this season.
I think that I want people to feel heard. I want people to feel like they can relate to what they're watching.
Matt?
I want people to feel loved. I want people to feel empowered.
Because there's so many different perspectives in the show, you feel like what you're seeing is about more than basketball. Somehow you feel like what you're seeing is about a part of your life. So I think that's something special about Swagger.
I want people to feel the strength and the vulnerability, just embracing each other in our community, and, you know, making the most of the time we have.
Reggie, the question for you is, why should people not skip the intro? I talked to Lisa last night.
Oh, you mean the main title? Well,
the intro. In terms of, because a lot of times we say skip intro. Right. So she and I had a long conversation about what y'all put into the intro. Right. And how important that is.
Well, the intro, the main titles was created by Lisa Whittington, the same artist who did the Emmett Till painting, and we really talked about how our characters, in their own right, are works of art. And she created a main title sequence. She painted, you know, a sequence with the community, with our players, and it's real work of art. And there
are storylines throughout that.
Yeah, and so, you know, you won't know what the storylines are when you first watch, but when you go back, you'll see it, and you'll see it, and can I take that question you got to everybody?
Go ahead.
You know, I want to say also what people could expect is number one, like the best shot basketball on TV. And you know, so our camera operators on rollerblades, and we do that to really have the audience feel like they're part of the action. But the other part of it is the reason why the basketball has to be so good is because we need the audience to lean in, and so while you're leaning forward, we're going to hit you with the truth.
Cool. Glad all of you are here. Before we go, I'm going to give somebody a shout out. She's not going to like it. So Jessica is sitting over there. She does PR. Come over here, Jessica. Yeah, I did it. Come on, roll that chair over here. Come on, I want to hear all that. It don't matter. So she'll get over it. So Jessica, so let me explain y'all how we met. So Jessica was a student. Where were you in college?
I was at University of Iowa, but I was interning for Donovan.
Okay, so she was University of Iowa? All right, so we're at National Association of Black Journalists Convention. What city were we in, Milwaukee?
I think it was Indianapolis.
All right, one of them cities. So she's interning with Don living in Chicago, and there was another sister who was in Chicago. And our convention is 4 days. And so it's like Friday, and convention really gets going Friday, Saturday. So they about to bounce. And I'm like, where y'all going? And so they said, look, we only have money to be here for a day and a half. They were like, we were here Thursday, half day Friday, we got to check out of this hotel. And I was like, now mind you, I came as a student in 1989, was my first convention in New York. I was like, I said, it's a lot more to convention you got to see. They were like, look, we broke. Straight up, I said, we broke. So I was like, all right, where y'all staying? I said, come on with me. So I walk over to the hotel. I'm like, all right, I need you to extend their room for the next 2 days. They look at each other like, is he joking? I'm like, no, I'm not joking. Put the credit card down, extend the room. I was like, all right, y'all enjoy the convention, and walk the hell off. And then it was years later when she's at Fox, and we were at NABJ, DC. And was it Shots Fired. Mm-hmm. And so they had a panel, and she was like, no, Roland has to do the panel. Now, I completely forgot I did all this. And then we get on it with the email. Then she reminds me of the story of the importance of, again, paying back. So it sort of came full circle. She's like, no, I gotta have him do this panel, And then of course she leaves Fox, joined Apple, and so appreciate all the great work you've done bringing folks in. See, that's right. Bring that chair over here. Gotta shout you out. And the reason that's important because again. It's a lot of folks. I was one of those folks who came to our first convention. All I had was $75 the last 4 days. Luckily, we had a whole bunch of free receptions, so I ate at every reception to extend that $75. It's all important. So congratulations to y'all. Congratulations, Jessica, being at Apple TV Plus. Looking forward to season 2. And thanks for coming and hanging out with us on the Black Star Network.
Thank you. Congratulations to you too, brother.
All right, appreciate it. All right, then. All right, folks, back to our Roland Mark Unfiltered video in just one moment. When you talk about blackness and what happens in black culture, we're about covering these things that matter to us, speaking to our issues and concerns.
This is a genuine people-powered movement.
There's a lot of stuff that we're not getting. You get it, and you spread the word.
We wish to plead our own cause. Too long have others spoken for us. We cannot tell our own story if we can't pay for it. This is about covering us. Invest in black-owned media. Your dollars matter. We don't have to keep asking them to cover our stuff. So please support us in what we do, folks.
We want to hit 2,000 people, $50 this month, raise $100,000. We're behind $100,000, so we want to hit that. Y'all money makes this possible.
Check some money orders. Go to P.O. Box 57196, Washington, D.C. 20037-0196. The Cash App is $RM Unfiltered. PayPal is R Martin Unfiltered. Venmo is RM Unfiltered. Zelle is Roland at RolandSMartin.com.